You've visited other realms, seen different species, aliens. Have you ever encountered any that were blue?
Yes, of course.
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. This week on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it was totally ladies' night. Roller derby on a plane. Jamie Alexander guest starred as Sif, and Elena Satine guest starred as Lorelei. Naturally, there were a ton of awesome comic book and movie references, and the blue alien plot really pushed forward. So I'll explain who Lorelei is real quick, and then we can talk about our top 5 moments, then I'll do my review. And quick shout out, I'm doing an Avengers Age of Ultron video later tonight. It's going to be a breakdown of the footage we're going to see next week as part of a special that Marvel is airing instead of a new episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's right, we're finally going to see actual footage from Avengers Age of Ultron, so be sure to subscribe to get that video. So now, let's talk about the weakness in all men. Lorelei is played by Elena Satine, who you may remember from Smallville. She played Mira, wife of Aquaman, in an episode. Funny to see her jump to the other team, but this is a way better role for her. In the comics, Loki used Lorelei to distract Thor while he was busy trying to build his power. This was back in the 1980s comics. The cool thing is that the story also involves Malekith, the Dark Elf we saw during the Dark World movie, and the Fire Gods search her. In the continuity of this episode, she'd basically been in prison for the last 600 years, presumably captured by Sif after the events in the comic books. She escaped during the events of Thor the Dark World. You remember when Curse destroyed the Asgardian prison that Loki just also happened to be in. So now let's talk about our top 5 moments from the episode. Careful for spoilers if you haven't seen the episode yet. I'll wait just a second. So here we go. Number 5. What kind of powers are we talking about? So you have to remember that for most of the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, magic or sorcery or even mutant-based powers don't exist. Or at least they don't know about them yet. So the reveal of Lorelei's powers does a couple really cool things. One is just funny to see all the WTF is magic faces, and it also opens the door for more strange powers in the show, which I think is just laying groundwork for the clairvoyant. That is, just making whatever strange powers he or she has seem more plausible whenever that secret is revealed. This kind of ties into the coming Marvel Age of Miracles that I'll be talking about during that Avengers 2 video later tonight. Number 4, Sif versus the biker gang. This is really the first of many amazing fight scenes. It becomes pretty obvious that the ladies are going to be having all the fun this week, and I think it's awesome. The biker gang fight was as much exciting as it was funny, just watching Sif throw them around like rag dolls. And the joke with her pushing the giant RV with her foot was great. That kind of humor is straight from a Thor movie, just the comedy that comes from putting a super strong Asgardian in a fight with regular humans. I was really bummed that Sif didn't get more action scenes in Thor the Dark World, and I feel like this episode kind of rectified that mistake. Sif is such an interesting character, and Jamie Alexander does an amazing job of playing her. I also really love that moment when Coulson knew that she was still hanging on outside the plane just because she was so tough. Number 3, Coulson drills Sif about blue aliens. There was a lot of comic book references here, but Sif lets him know that only one species actually visited Earth, the Frost Giants, 1,000 years ago. That means one of 3 things is possible. Either a frost giant was captured, or Nick Fury acquired one from outer space, another alien that is. Or number 3, my new theory, that Fury captured one that originated on Earth. I don't know that he would have gone into outer space yet, even though Guardians of the Galaxy is right around the corner. So the alternate theory to my frost giant Kree theory is now an Atlantean. They have the blue glowy skin, and they would have already been on Earth, meaning that the theory fits within the logic that Sif presented. That does kind of dispel my Kree theory, but it opens the door to Sky being part Atlantean. If you're not familiar, Namor is half Atlantean, so he has all these powers and can live underwater, but appears human. This is pretty big, so let me know if you agree with my Sky Atlantean theory in the comments below. Number 2, Sif versus Lorelei. This wasn't as big a battle as I expected, but I award bonus points for the creative use of Sif's sword during their duel. There were also some really awesome comic book references to Lorelei's old plot with Loki and how she used Thor. It's so much fun to see them bring that comic book story from the 80s right into the modern day Marvel universe. Remember, Asgardians lived for about 5,000 years, so 600 to them is like a decade to us. It would be like the two of them talking about the war in Iraq, something that happened very recently. And my number 1 moment, the double cross involving Coulson and Sky on one side and May on the other. So many things are connecting Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to the plot of Winter Soldier now. First, let's talk about the Coulson side of this equation. The person he was talking about tracking down, that person who was responsible, is Nick Fury. He's off the grid, but we will see him during Winter Soldier, so we probably won't learn what he's been doing at least until the last couple of episodes, or maybe not even till the movie premieres. Then let's flip to the other side with May. She's been keeping tabs on Coulson for someone else. I'm betting that it's Robert Redford's character. He'd be one of the few people with security clearance and power inside of S.H.I.E.L.D. to know all about that blue alien. But now it's your turn. Let me know, what was your favorite moment from the episode? Was it the blue alien plot? Was it the roller derby on a plane, all the fight scenes? Or was it just seeing Sif and Lorelei? Overall, I give the episode an A just for amazing use of a movie character, Jamie Alexander, and a comic book character, Lorelei. I hope we get to see her in another Marvel movie, Lorelei that is, or back on the show next season. Jamie Alexander got way more screen time than she did in any of the Thor movies too, and I hope that they really expand her role for Thor 3. Her character deserves way more screen time than Natalie Portman. And if rumors are to be believed, that won't be an issue. I'm saying Portman might not return for that third movie. I don't know what her contract says though, so I can't confirm that. Elena Satine was also so much more fun than any of the other guest stars this season. It's like the Tom Hiddleston Loki bonus that characters get. The actors playing villains get to have way more fun and be way more complex than any of the heroes. Not to say that Sif is not also a ton of fun too. The only thing I thought could have been done better was the men versus women plot, the gender humor. I understand that it's a slam dunk to do gender humor like this whenever the villain's powers are all about manipulating men, and the jokes were totally funny too, but I didn't think it was totally necessary. So think about it the other way, you don't need to show women as being weak to make men seem strong, so the opposite has to be true as well. I don't think you need a bunch of weak men in a Wonder Woman movie just to make her seem more powerful, just like you don't need to show a bunch of weak women to make Superman seem powerful. That being said, Fitz was so much fun to watch being drunk in love with Lorelei, and watching Simmons almost crack Coulson with that fire extinguisher. It's too bad S.H.I.E.L.D. can't be this funny all the time, but sometimes, having super strength and a bunch of Asgardians makes it a lot easier. There was one more big question that I had after the episode, and it ties into Thor the Dark World and the rest of the movies. It has to do with Sif's mission. She was ordered by Odin to bring Lorelei back to Asgard. But when you remember the ending of Thor the Dark World and consider that it probably happened before the events of this episode, it makes you wonder, was it really Loki giving her those orders as Odin, or was it Odin himself? That remains to be answered, but it does offer a lot of places for where Lorelei's character can go next from here. So, in related news, remember I'm posting that Avengers 2 video later tonight. You can click here to watch that. I'll add the annotation as soon as I post it, and you can click here to learn about all my alternate Sky Miss Marvel theories. Remember, that is expanded now to include Atlantean theories based on this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tonight. High fives.